안녕하세요. You're going to learn another usage of the pre-final ending get, another usage of the connective ending 으니까, and a new final ending 네요 in this video. Let's go! The pre-final ending get can also be used when you guess something based on the situation and the state. Let's see the Korean sentence and see how you use it. 오래간만에 친구를 만나서 반가우셨겠어요. 오래간만에 친구를 만나서 반가우셨겠어요. The connective ending 아서 is used too. 오래간만. There is no good way to express 오래간만 in English. The direct translation of 오래간만 is after a long time. More specifically, a long time has passed since something happened the last time in the past. So, 오래간만 is used when you want to mean it's been a long time since something happened the last time, or you haven't done something for a while and now you're about to do it again. You know the word 오래. It's an adverb, which means long time, or for a long time. 간 indicates a time period. 만 indicates first time after a long time. Well, you don't have to know this word by word or letter by letter. So just remember the entire 오래간만 as a one noun. 오래간만 also indicate a point in time, the point after a while. It's a time-related noun too. Therefore, you better add a particle, 에. 오래간만에. 오래간만에. 친구를, friend를 만나서. The stem 만나, which is from the verb 만나다, to meet, and the connective ending 아서, 만나서. It tells us that the first part is the reason. You don't use the past tense indicator at because you cannot use it with the connective ending 아서, 어서, even though the entire sentence is in the past tense. So, 만나서 is like met. So, 오래간만에 친구를 만나서 after a long time, friend met. So, or because you met a friend for the first time in a long time, 오래간만에 친구를 만나서 반가우셨겠어요. 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 First of all, you need to know the Korean adjective 반갑다. The adjective 반갑다 is used to mean to be glad or pleasant, to meet or see someone or something for the first time, or someone or something that you haven't seen for a while. Anyway, it means to be glad or pleasant to see someone or something. You are talking to the second person about the second person. Therefore, you want to use the higher respect predicate. The stem of 반갑다 is 반갑. When there is a final consonant in the last letter of the stem, you need to add 으시 in order to make a higher respect predicate. But the last letter of the stem has final 부 consonant. When the final 부 consonant meets the round empty consonant ing, the final 부 consonant disappears and 우 sound is added. You need to combine 우 and 으 sound together one more time. Therefore, 으 sound from 으시 disappears. So it becomes 반가우 and 시. And you add a past tense indicator, 엇, because you guess someone else's feeling, which he or she might have felt in the past, and add a pre-final ending, get, and the final ending, 어요, at the end. 반가우시, 엇겠어요. And 시 and 엇 sound combined together one more time. So it becomes 반가우셨겠어요. 반가우셨겠어요. And this pre-final ending get sounds like you're guessing, like must have been glad. 오래간만에 친구를 만나서 반가우셨겠어요. Met a friend after a long time, so must have been glad. What does that mean? You must have been glad because you met a friend whom you haven't seen for a while. 오래간만에 친구를 만나서 so 반가우셨겠어요. Again, the pre-final ending ket is used to indicate that it's your guess in this case, like must have been or might have been. What else you can use when you guess something happened in the past? Yes, the past tense indicator at, had, and 을 것 같아요. Let's use it for the same sentence then. 오래간만에 친구를 만나서 반가우셨을 것 같아요. 반가우셨을 것 같아요. The stem 반가우시 and the past tense indicator 엇 and the compound expression which can indicate that it's your guess 을 것 같아요. 반가우시 엇을 것 같아요. You can combine 시 and 엇 sound together one more time so it becomes 반가우셨을 것 같아요. 반가우셨을 것 같아요. 반가우셨을 것 같아요 sounds more like might have been glad. You expect now the subject was glad in the past. So 같아요 part is not in the past tense. You guess now. You expect now. These two sentences have basically the same meaning, but the second one sounds more like might have been. Not really sure, but you're guessing. And the first one could sound like must have been. You're quite sure based on the situation and the circumstances. Okay? Let's see the next example. 오랜만에 일이 많아서 힘드시겠어요. 오랜만에 일이 많아서 힘드시겠어요. 오랜만에 오랜만 is the shortened form of 오래간만. They both are used commonly in spoken Korean. 오랜만에 or 오래간만에 일이 일이 일 can mean work, job, or occasion occurrence that happened to someone. Here 일 means work. It's a subject, so we use the subject particle 이. Or you can think it's an object, but the predicate which will come next is an adjective. Therefore, you cannot use the object particle 을 anyway. 일이 많아서. The stem 만 plus the connective ending 아서. The stem 만 is from the adjective 많다, which is used to mean to have something a lot, or there are something a lot. 많아서. The final 흐 consonant of the consonant cluster is silent when it meets the round empty 이응 consonant in the next block. 많아서. Have a lot, so 일이 많아서. Work have a lot, so or because work have a lot. 힘드시겠어요. 힘드시겠어요. 힘드시겠어요 is the combination of the stem 힘드시, pre-final ending get, and final ending 어요. The stem 힘드시 is from the adjective 힘들다, which means physically or mentally hard, tough, backbreaking, or difficult. The higher respect form of the adjective 힘들다 is 힘드시다. It's originally from 힘들 plus 으시다, but when the final 르 consonant meets 으 sound, the final 르 consonant disappears and just 시 sound is added instead of 으시. 힘드시다. And the stem is 힘드시. 힘드시겠어요? Must be tough. 오랜만에 일이 많아서 힘드시겠어요? You have a lot of work after a long time, so must be tough. Does that mean? It must be tough because you have a lot of work for the first time in a long time, right? 오랜만에 일이 많아서 힘드시겠어요? The pre-final ending get here is also used to indicate your guess. It could sound like you're worrying about it, right? 오랜만에 일이 많아서 힘드시겠어요. Of course, you can use 을 것 같아요 too. 오랜만에 일이 많아서 힘드실 것 같아요. 오랜만에 일이 많아서 힘드실 것 같아요. Just sounds more like I assume that it is tough or it might be tough. Before we go any further with the pre-final ending cat, let's learn about the final ending 네요. This final ending 네요 is used when you want to express that you are surprised, or to emphasize what you feel, or to express your admiration based on what you've just found out. And this final ending 네요 is also used with the pre-final ending cat quite often to ask for the listener's agreement about your guess, because the pre-final ending cat can be used to indicate your guess as you've just learned. If you see the examples, you will understand this better. Let's see the Korean sentence. 밖에 눈이 내렸네요. 밖에 눈이 내렸네요. 밖에 눈이 내렸네요. 밖 means, of course, outside. It's a place-related word, therefore you can add a particle, 에. 밖에, 밖에. 눈이. 눈 means snow. It's a subject. 눈이. 내렸네요. 내렸네요. 내리다 is used when you want to say snow or rain falls. The stem is 내리. Let's add a past tense indicator, 엇, and the final ending, 네요. Of course, the last letter of the stem, 리, and the past tense indicator, 엇, should combine together one more time, and it becomes 렸 sound with 여 vowel. 내렸네요. 내렸네요. 밖에 눈이 내렸네요. Snow has fallen outside. So this final ending 네요 can add a nuance that you are surprised to see it. In a situation like you found out that it snowed outside when you opened the window in the morning. 네요, of course, can be used when you are astonished, surprised big time, or shocked. But it can also be used when you are just a little bit surprised, like a little wow. Wow, it snowed outside. You can just say 밖에 눈이 내렸어요. With the final ending 어요, of course, no problem. With the final ending 어요, it just sounds like a plain declarative sentence. You use the past tense because the snow is already out there because it snowed in the past, like last night or during the night. As you know, in Korean, you need to indicate the actual moment when something actually happened in the past, where the past tense in Korean can indicate something happened in the past and its state continues, right? It snowed last night in the past and it's still there. Okay? Let's see the next example. 손이 정말 예쁘시네요. 손이 정말 예쁘시네요. 손, hand. 정말, really. 예쁘시네요, pretty. 예쁘시네요 is the combination of the stem 예쁘, which means pretty, and 시 sound to turn the stem into a higher respect form, and the final ending 네요. 예쁘시네요. 손이 정말 예쁘시네요. Your hands are really pretty. So final ending 네요 provides a nuance that you are surprised and want to show your admiration for someone else's pretty hands. 손이 정말 예쁘시네요. Hands are not a person, but it's a part of a person, so you can use a higher respect predicate when you want to sound more polite. Of course, you can get rid of the 시 sound. It will sound polite enough without the higher respect form, since you're talking about the hands. Then what if you use the normal final ending 어요 instead of 네요? 손이 정말 예쁘세요. 손이 정말 예쁘세요. It just sounds fine. It just sounds like a normal declarative sentence. Just with the final ending 네요, you can add an extra nuance, expressing what you feel after seeing someone else's pretty hands, expressing you're a little bit surprised. Okay? Let's see the next example. 한국어를 아주 잘 하시네요. 한국어를 아주 잘 하시네요. 한국어를 아주 잘 하시네요. 한국어를 아주 잘 하시네요. 한국어, Korean language. 아주, very. 잘, well. 하시네요, do. But it actually means to speak. To speak, to say in Korean is 말하다. It's one of those noun plus verb verbs. 말 actually is a noun which means language or speech. So when it's used with the object which means language or story, this 말 sound from 말하다 disappears because it's the meaning redundancy. The same thing applies to the 한국어 and 한국말, which means the Korean language. So you don't say 한국어를 말하다, but you just say 한국어를 하다 or 한국말을 하다. The object is 한국어를 in this sentence. Therefore, you just use 하다 part as a predicate in this sentence to mean to speak. We want to use a higher respect form, so let's add 시 sound to the stem and add 네요 at the end. 하시네요. 하시네요. 아주 and 잘 are adverbs that modify the actual predicate 하다. Therefore, they can position between the object 한국어 and the verb 하시네요. 한국어를 아주 잘 하시네요. With the final ending 네요, it can sound like you're surprised a little bit and want to make a compliment right after you heard someone speaks Korean. Or you just found out that this person speaks Korean very well, and you want to say something about it sounding like you've just found it out. Okay? And as I already told you, this final ending 네요 can be used with a pre-final ending cat when you want to ask for or induce the listener's agreement about your guess. Let's use this final ending 네요 to the sentence you just learned in the previous page. 오래간만에 친구를 만나서 반가우셨겠네요. 오래간만에 친구를 만나서 반가우셨겠네요. We've just replaced the final ending 어요 with the final ending 네요. Let's see the predicated part. 반가우셨겠네요. 반가우셨겠네요. The stem 반가우시 plus the past tense indicator 엇 and the pre-final ending get and the final ending 네요. 반가우셨겠네요. 반가우셨겠네요. 오래간만에 친구를 만나서 반가우셨겠네요. 오래간만에 친구를 만나서 반가우셨겠네요. This 네요 is used to induce the listener's agreement about your guess. But the nuance is not that strong in a normal sentence like this. It just sounds like you're saying this after finding out something and expressing what you feel. If you turn it into an actual question, it will sound more like you're inducing or asking for the listener's agreement for your guess. 오래간만에 친구를 만나서 반가우셨겠네요? 반가우셨겠네요? Sounds like, am I right? With the final ending 네요. 반가우셨겠네요? 오래간만에 친구를 만나서 반가우셨겠네요? Now you can even use 네요. It's amazing. Okay then, let's go back to the pre-final ending get and use the final ending 네요 with it. Let's see the Korean sentence. 돈이 많아서 좋으시겠어요. 돈이 많아서 좋으시겠어요. 돈이 많아서. 많아서 is the combination of the stem 만 from 많다 and the connective ending 아서. 많다 means to have a lot, to exist a lot, or there are a lot. 많다 is not a verb. It's an adjective, like 있다, which means to have, to exist, or there is, and 없다, which means to have not, doesn't exist, or there is not. Therefore, no matter whether you think 돈 is an object or a subject, you cannot use an object particle 을 anyway. So let's use the subject particle 이 for 돈, which means money. 돈이 많아서 money exists a lot. Money have a lot. The connective ending 아서 indicates the reason or cause. You can also think it's used as if it is a conjunction so in English. Therefore, 돈이 많아서 means money have a lot, so, or because money have a lot. The subject is omitted here, but the subject is the second person you, actually. You have a lot of money, so, or because you have a lot of money. 돈이 많아서 좋으시겠어요. 좋으시겠어요. 좋다 is an adjective, as you know, and it means to be good. It can also mean to be fine, to be satisfied, to feel good, or to be happy. Because of the fact that the subject is actually you, you can use the higher respect form of the adjective 좋다, which is 좋으시다. 으시 is added to the original stem, 조, and now the stem is 좋으시. So, 좋으시겠어요 is the combination of the stem, 좋으시, the pre-final ending get, and the final ending 어요. The pre-final ending ket here is used to indicate that it's your guess. 좋으시겠어요? Must be good or must be happy. 돈이 많아서 좋으시겠어요? You have money a lot, so you must be happy. You must be happy because you have a lot of money. 돈이 많아서 because you have a lot of money. 좋으시겠어요? Must be happy. 돈이 많아서 좋으시겠어요? It can sound like you're scoffing. You know why, so be careful. 돈이 많아서 좋으시겠어요? Anyway, the point is, the pre-final ending ket is used to indicate that you're guessing this. Then let's see how it sounds like with the final ending 네요. Let's see the next Korean sentence. 돈이 많아서 좋으시겠네요. 돈이 많아서 좋으시겠네요. We've just added the final ending 네요 instead of the final ending 어요. 돈이 많아서 좋으시겠네요. The first sentence 돈이 많아서 좋으시겠어요. And the second sentence 돈이 많아서 좋으시겠네요. Sound almost the same actually. Just the second sentence 돈이 많아서 좋으시겠네요 sounds more like you're expressing what you feel based on something you've just found out. That's it. Again, 좋으시겠네요 with the final ending 네요 just sounds more like based on what I've just learned, I guess you must be happy. If you add a question mark and make an actual question, it will sound more like you're actually inducing or seeking the listener's agreement. 돈이 많아서 좋으시겠네요? 돈이 많아서 좋으시겠네요? Please sense the rising tone at the end. 좋으시겠네요? It's an actual question like you must be happy. Yes? Right? 좋으시겠네요? And it of course sounds like you actually want to have the listener's answer with the nuance asking for the listener's agreement based on what you've just found out. Okay? Let's see the next example. 하늘을 보니까 내일은 비가 오겠네요. 하늘을 보니까 내일은 비가 오겠네요. We can hear that the connective ending 니까 is used. This connective ending 니까 is not used to indicate the reason, but it's kind of related to it. I'll tell you what it means very soon. 하늘을 보니까 하늘 means the sky. It's an object. Therefore, let's add an object particle 을. 하늘을. 하늘을. 보니까. It's a combination of the stem 보 from 보다, which means to see, and the connective ending 니까, 보니까. This connective ending 니까 can be used when you want to say, as a result of an action, you've found out something. And the part with 니까 is the action you've done. It's hard to understand the meaning of the sentence only with the first part. Therefore, let's see the rest of the sentence first. 내일은 비가 오겠네요. 내일은 비가 오겠네요. 내일은 비가 오겠네요. 내일은, 내일 means tomorrow. The auxiliary particle 은 is used together. 내일은, 내일은. It indicates that 내일 is a topic like as for tomorrow, or it can provide a nuance of comparing to, compared to today, as for tomorrow. 비가, rain, 오겠네요, 오겠네요. It's the combination of the stem 오 from 오다, which means to come, the connective ending get, and the final ending 네요. The pre-final ending get is added to indicate that it's your guess, and the final ending 네요 provides the nuance that you've just found out something and said what you feel based on it. So 하늘을 보니까 sounds like after I see the sky, I got this feeling. What feeling? 내일은 비가 오겠네요. You've got the feeling that it will rain tomorrow, so you say it must rain tomorrow. 하늘을 보니까 I see the sky, and as a result of that, 내일은 비가 오겠네요. I've got a feeling that it must rain tomorrow. Okay? 하늘을 보니까 내일은 비가 오겠네요. We didn't mention this usage when we actually learned about the connective ending 으니까 or 니까 because it's not exactly about the reason or cause. But if you think about the meaning one more time, as a result of that kind of a meaning, it's related to the reason thing anyway. Like, I got this feeling because I saw the sky. I saw the sky. As a result of that, I got this feeling. It's somewhat related anyway. This usage of 으니까, 니까 is very limited though. Therefore, you need to exactly know how to use it. It normally goes with just a few limited situations and verbs such as 가다 and 보다. Again, 하늘을 보니까 as I see the sky, 내일은 비가 오겠네요. I got this feeling that it must be raining tomorrow. 하늘을 보니까 내일은 비가 오겠네요. And when you use the connective ending 으니까, 니까 for this usage, you cannot use the past tense indicator at, het, and the pre-final ending get with it. Again, you cannot use the past tense indicator at, het, and the pre-final ending get when you use the connective ending 으니까, 니까 for this particular usage, which is not exactly about the reason. Of course, you can use the pre-final ending get for the second part with the final ending, as you see. Please don't mix up. Since the pre-final ending get is used to indicate your guess, you can use other compound expression or ending to indicate that it's your guess, right? Let's use 을 것 같다 for the same sentence then and see how it sounds like. 하늘을 보니까 내일은 비가 올 것 같네요. 하늘을 보니까 내일은 비가 올 것 같네요. 하늘을 보니까 as I see the sky or I see the sky as a result of that. 내일은 비가 올 것 같네요. Let's see the predicative part. 올 것 같네요. The final ending 네요 is used instead of 아요. The stem 오 plus final 르 consonant and 것 plus 네요. 올 것 같네요. 올 것 같네요. Of course, 을 것 같 sounds like you expect or you guess. And the final ending 네요 has the nuance that you're saying this based on what you've just found out. Well, even though you use the final ending 아요, it would mean the same anyway. Just 네요 can add an extra nuance. So the entire 내일은 비가 올 것 같네요 sounds like it seems or it might rain tomorrow. And the final ending 네요 provides the nuance that you are saying this based on what you feel. Then what's the difference between 오겠네요 and 올 것 같네요? As we explained earlier, no big difference theoretically. But the first one, 오겠네요, sounds a bit more like expressing your strong yes, as if you say, it must be raining. And the second one, 올 것 같네요, sounds a bit more like it seems or might rain. It's not a rule, but it just sounds like it. This is the end of lesson 9 part 8. You are going to learn the rest of the usages of the pre-final ending get in the next video. 그럼 다음 비디오에서 만나요. 안녕히 계세요.